Hello all, this is Paladin, or Max, or Kyrillis27 on the forums. Sorry for the delay. Unfortunately, I'm in law school, so things have been busy. I've been studying and trying to get a lot done. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on this Let's Play. We're using a lot of time compression on this one. The raw footage is about an hour. I also want to mention that this video quality is not up to par, at least to my standards. But it's already been filmed, so we'll make do. But for future reference, we'll go ahead and use something a little bit better, something that you can actually see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Detonating fabricators, this is the counselor speaking. We're going to need another slipway. We're under the imminent threat of precursors and possibly the Spokane Commonwealth. To Diplomatic Team Refer, thank you so much for your service. We look forward to your continuing improvements. Lookout 2, what is your current status? Are you still in overhaul? Yes, you are. Very well, we continue on the overhaul. Enjoy your shore leave. And without any more discussion, Council, since we have nothing going on for the next 90 days, let's go ahead and adjourn. Finally, at long last, Liverpool has touched down. Population is there, but they are reporting that there's not enough infrastructure. Of course, we'll turn to our civilian fleet to take care of these shortcomings. The civilian fleet will rely on free trade principles to ensure that infrastructure will get to where its demand is the most. Captain Mordicon, what is your current status? Also, can you supply any information on the civilian fleet in your current system? I see that there are 7 million people on Liverpool, but they just don't have the infrastructure to support that vast number. Let's go ahead and take a look at our terraforming plan here. We're going to need to cool down the planet a bit. And let's go ahead and check the status of our other planet here in Wall Street. It looks like the plans are not going as well as we'd hoped. Things are slow going. I think we need a few more Ark Royals to supplement the terraforming efforts. Let's adjourn for the next 90 days. I'm getting reports that many of our named officers are doing very well. I'm pleased to see all these updates, and that experience is really the key factor in securing a foundation from which we can grow, both in terms of wealth and military power. It looks like Lick 3 is doing well for himself. He just researched ebooks. I have reports of an exceptional new officer who's joined our ranks. This is worth convening a special session of the Council to discuss. I will name him to be my newest subscriber. Captain Mordicon is reporting low fuel, and it appears that every time he goes and makes the trek to Liverpool, he will be at low fuel before he gets home. Captain Mordicon, Liverpool needs your help. I need you to go into an automated cycle. Let's go ahead and adjourn. Let's keep a close eye on Liverpool. If the unrest proves to be too great, we'll go ahead and declare independence on that colony. I see that our civilian fleet has finally entered the Spokane Commonwealth system and has begun trading with them. I look forward to continued trade, but this trade will also provide a little bit of espionage. We'll be able to detect these allied contacts and be able to determine their relative strength to us. I see also that we have a lot of lookouts that are being overhauled at the moment. This will slow down our exploration of our neighboring systems, but that's just the price that we'll have to pay. I also see that we have some Ark Royals coming off the line in about a month or so. A little over a month. Let's go ahead and bring together a special session of the Council at that time. Thank you. Oh dear. It sounds like Toya Akira he's been injured. Poor guy. Let me go ahead and break the fourth wall here. Now, in case you didn't know, if you have new terraformers, you must first move them to the planet and then join the task group that's currently here, as shown here. The reason for this is that the moving to that planet updates the annual production rate of atmosphere. The reason this is important is if you were to go ahead and give the order to just join the terraformers and not move them to the planet, the manual order, move to this planet, then that annual production rate doesn't get updated. So you could have 100 terraformers there, and if you're not moving them to that planet, it does not update the rate. Alright, now back to role playing. We're going to go ahead and adjourn the council for the next 90 days. Thank you. Oh, and Counselor, please put in an order for new Arc Royals. I'd like to continue to produce those, as opposed to just letting our shipyards lay barren in terms of wealth creation and production. Now, I see that Captain Mordecon is doing excellently. He's learning a lot despite his drinking problem. Definitely an officer that this council needs to keep an eye on. Also, I have noticed that the JCS Agincourt has completed all its orders and has returned back to the NYSE. We know that the jump gates and the network linking all of our trade together is complete between the Spokane Commonwealth and with Liverpool. The JCS Agincourt, please take some time off and thank you for your service. Oh no. It appears that 10 million people have landed on Liverpool and they are clamoring for some sort of defense capability there. We're going to have to address those concerns, otherwise we are going to see Liverpool raise up in arms. Now, what is the most efficient way of addressing their demands and placating them? Placating. Placebo. Let's give them some planetary defense centers on the cheap to make them believe that they are being protected. Now, in our design of this placebo PDC, we'll go ahead and attach a few lasers. This is going to contribute directly to the planetary protection value, or PPV. Now, because Liverpool only requires a total of 5 PPV points, 1 PDC, which is a total of 42 PPV, will go ahead and address their concerns. Now, back home, we don't really need that much protection. Now, when Wall Street A1 becomes a larger metropolis of 10 million, then they're going to go ahead and require it. So let's go to our industry, and instead of commercial shipyards, we'll go ahead and start our PDC production. So we're going to put out 10 placebos, and these are going to be regular PDCs, and we're going to prefab 10 PDCs. Now these prefabs will go on and over into the Liverpool system. The Liverpool system will use the prefab sections, have a construction factory, and they'll put it together. Now, prefabbed sections need to be assembled. The assembly doesn't cost anything because it's all prefabbed. So we'll just need to get some construction factory over to Liverpool. Now, Council, let's go ahead and adjourn for the next 90 days. Those PDCs should be pretty quick. Council, as you can obviously tell, our civilian fleet trading is causing a great number of events here that we have to filter through. So let's go ahead and filter out these new friendly contacts and the friendly contact updates, because we know what's going on. They are friendly after all, so let's go ahead and filter out those reports. Now, because Liverpool is getting so upset, we're going to go ahead and rearrange our priorities in industry, and we'll go ahead and move the prefab task up. That will supersede the PDC construction on the NYSE planet. Excellent. Sounds like Lookout 3 has just finished up their orders to overhaul. This is great, and we'll go ahead and send them out to a new system. Lookout, how are your comm systems? This is a comms check.
We have all comm systems online.
Excellent. You're hereby ordered to go to Newcastle, and from Newcastle, explore jump point 4.
We'll be on our way then.
Alright, Cancel. We're going to go ahead and adjourn for a few days here. Let's go ahead and get an update, please, on prefabbing. How's that looking? Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at Mordicon here. Captain Mordicon, looks like you're on your way back. That sounds excellent. I'm glad to hear this. Once you're back, Mordicon, I need you to load some prefabbed PDC components and send those back to Liverpool post-haste. I realize your morale is going to take a big hit, but so be it. For the good of our empire. I don't know if anyone noticed, but Mordicon's trek is 2 years. He has a slow ship and a long journey. No wonder he drinks so much. As a consequence, of course, his morale on the ship is slowly declining, especially without shore leave. Now, we're going to have to get a construction factory out to Liverpool in order to get these prefabbed PDCs together. Let's go ahead and wait for the next 90 days here. Since we have a new research lab, let's go ahead and assign it to powered propulsion here. Now, another concern that I have is all this unrest increase over on Liverpool. If it gets too low, we'll call it 1/3, 33% on the political stability modifier, I will click create an independent colony and simulate that there was an actual rebellion and that they've become their own independent race. Now that this Lookout has completed its overhaul, Lookout, we're going to send you off to Swansea, and from Swansea I need you to go into the new jump point that's been unexplored. Do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Alright, Council, let's go ahead and go for another 90 days here. Looks like Toya got hurt yet again. And Lookout 3, looks like we need to reset your default and conditional orders. Let's go ahead and continue. Now I'm getting very concerned here about Liverpool. That is got to be a pretty high unrest rate here. It's very high. Also, we're going to have to get Lookout 4 and 5 moving on an exploration. Let's go ahead and send them out to a couple systems here. Let's just jump another 5 days here and see what we see. Let's get an extra slipway going. Alright, Mordicon, these are your orders. You're to pick up those PDC prefabs, get them all the way to Liverpool. Now then, we're going to order our civilian fleet to get the construction factories from NYSE over to Liverpool. In fact, they might even beat you there, Mordicon. Now, for those of you who are newcomers to Aurora, this is the absolute best way to move installations. What you need to do is set up a civilian contract. The civilian contract will go ahead and get installations from one planet to another with the barest amount of micromanagement. Use your civilian fleet. Now, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the mining situation here. Yeah, let's definitely get some mines here. Alright, let's go ahead and set up the civilian contract to get that going. Alright, let's go ahead and adjourn for 90 days here. Looks like an error. Let's go ahead and just OK through it. Hopefully it's not a recurring error in the database. And we got a promising new officer. That looks great. And yeah, that's enough. We have 2 new ship constructions. Let's go ahead and begin a special session of the council to go ahead and create a new name for this promising new officer and get the orders to our 2 new ships. Alright, now we'll just go ahead and name him from the list of subscribers. Now for the next Let's Play, we have a few people who have asked to be named. They will be in the next Let's Play, but for right now we're just going to rename him from the subscriber list since we had no requests. And now let's go ahead and deal with the arc royals. Again, remember, we have to move to and then join the task group. We don't just join the task group. And you can go ahead and can see that this has been confirmed from last time. And let's go another 90 days, or if you've been paying close attention, it's more like 30 days with the intent to go to 90 days. It looks like Lookout 1 is still waiting, and Lookout 2, let's go ahead and take a look at our choices here. Lookout 2, you're hereby ordered to go to Londonderry and finish up that survey there.
We'll be on our way then.
Thank you, Lookout, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what else is going on here. Looks like Toya is finally completing up his armor. Well done, Toya. And we'll give you something else to do here. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on. And stop right here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Seems like we had a lot of good updates. A lot of growth by our officers. Now, let's take a look at Liverpool, and it seems like we have a problem here. They have 35 million people. We're going to call this stable just in case they do in fact rebel. It's getting down to the wire, I'd imagine. Looks like they have some construction factories, but they do not have any PDC components yet. Captain Mordicon, where are you, and what is your ETA? Alright, well, looks like we're down to the wire here. We'll go ahead and continue for the next 90 days until our next council meeting. Thank you. Alright, council, let's go ahead and take a look at the commander profile of Mordicon here. I see he's one spot away from promotion. He's highest ranked captain. Mordicon, hats off to you when you do get that promotion. Looks like we've had quite a few promotions recently too. Let's go ahead and take a look at Liverpool's industry. Let's see if we have any PDCs here, and we do. Let's go ahead and construct those 5. The other reason you know it's 5, you can go ahead and check right here, and you'll be able to see how much you have. Alright, so let's take a look at our industry. Looks like we got a few problems here. We definitely need to have some more construction technology, and Lick 3 is going to have to focus on this. This is huge. Being able to produce more is going to be vital. Production is equal to wealth, and we are a plutocracy. Alright, we are down to the wire here. At 33%, Liverpool will be an independent colony. And if we just don't have that PDC that's set up, we're going to have to make that decision to make it an independent colony. Council, let's just watch and see if Liverpool becomes an independent colony. Let's see. Great, we got one. And that 42 is definitely going to trump their protection level request. Looks like we're in the clear, folks. Great. Let's go ahead and move on.
This is Lookout 1. We have all comm systems online.
Well, since we have Lookout 5 over in this hostile system, it seems like the precursors have been destroyed, in fact, by the Spokane Commonwealth. Let's go ahead and order Lookout 1 to Glasgow. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our shipyards. Let's hold off on making more slipways on this guy, and we're going to go ahead and make another slipyard here. And let's look at the overview on our industry. It's going very slowly. Lick 3 really needs to hurry up on his construction production technology. Alright, so let's go ahead and hold some elections here. Remember, we are a plutocracy. Wealth creation, because we're role-playing, is the key factor in whether you're going to be able to hold high office. Wealth creation is therefore the most important aspect to the character, and we'll go ahead and give out wealth creation by seniority here. Let's also go ahead and determine who will be the council. The council will go ahead and make decisions. This is a tough one. How do we distinguish between these two? I would really like to see Castanar take control of something. And by virtue of being named, I just like Castanar. We'll go ahead and just make him the governor here. Now, Castanar, this isn't a place for shame. It's definitely an interesting place. It has a lot of potential. I wouldn't look down at this at all. Alright. Well, this planet here is definitely interesting. It needs to have a few changes. We need to take out methane, ammonia, and add some oxygen. And definitely change that temperature, but I think it looks like a great planet that we need to colonize at some point. Now you can always press Control A, take a look at some of the other available colony spots as I am here, and this is just to get an idea for exactly what I want to do in the future here as far as colonization purposes. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at Oxford. Let's see where it is here. And it's pretty far out there, so we're going to go ahead and sort by distance here. Now there are places like Cardiff and Londonderry that are fairly close by, but they're through the nebula. That'll slow down a lot of things, and we don't want that. And let's go ahead and continue on. And it looks like we had a great turn. Let's take a look back here. And it looks like the Spokane Commonwealth is now treating us like allies, which is great news. So from here on out, we'll treat them as allies, and we'll trade our grab survey data with them. Let's go ahead and see what the future holds in for us now. Looks like a good turn so far. It seems like one of the teammates from the Redford diplomatic team has died, so we're going to go ahead and replace them. And now we continue on. And at the conclusion of this 90-day turn, we'll go ahead and end it. I think one analysis I have is that we have a real bottleneck, and that's in the construction production technology tree. We really need a lot more focus on the construction production aspect so we can speed things up. Once we speed things up, I would implore the council to start making military decisions, focus on having a good economic base, focus on having a strong military. Oh, and take a look at this. It looks like the Spokane Commonwealth has come in, and they're probably surveying and trying to discover what's going on here. Yeah, if you look at all these asteroids, they are definitely surveying, and they're taking a look at there. That really speaks to the AI that Steve has put into this game. I think it's great that they don't know as much as you do, and they have to survey. So many games, they just have a omniscient AI, and in this game it is not the case. And wow, take a look at this guy. This looks like we have a jackpot. We have some, it's a binary star system. This could be good. It's very close to home. We can definitely terraform some of these planets and start putting down some colonies in the system. Glasgow, by comparison, is just barren, very empty. But they might have some ruins on this planet. I don't know what those precursors were guarding. Gosh, with that new discovery, I just definitely want to keep on playing. That's the one more turn mentality that Aurora really produces. Let's go ahead and take a look at our signs before I turn this off here. I really want to keep playing here. But yeah, it looks like things are looking good. Let's take a look at the allocation labs here. Alright, well that would be it. Thank you so much for coming out and playing. I do want to apologize for my long-time watchers. I keep talking about this military. This is not a tease. I'm sorry. I just want to do it when the time's right. This isn't a monetary thing that I'm doing. These Let's Plays don't play ads. I'm not making money here. So I want to apologize for the military tease. They'll be coming up soon, though. I do want to see how technology unfolds here. So anyway, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is great. We'll go ahead and get another Let's Play out real soon here. The issue right now with me is my scheduling. I'm in law school and I'm in the middle of my semester, so things are a little bit rough with me right now. There's just a lot going on. It's my last year of law school, so that's nice, but there's a lot of reading all the time. So anyway, without any more outro, let's go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much. This is Paladin. Thanks.